The path to peace through humility, gentleness, and patience. The path to peace in the world, in our societies, and also in our families is that of humility, gentleness, and patience. From St. Paul's letter to the Ephesians, when Paul was writing from the solitude of his imprisonment, he wrote a true hymn to unity, recalling the dignity of vocation. Paul's solitude would accompany him until his death in Rome, because Christians were too busy in their internal struggles. And before Paul, Jesus himself asked for the grace of unity from his Father for all of us. Yet today, we are used to breathing the air of conflict. Every day, on the TV, in the news, we hear about conflicts and wars, one after the other, without peace, without unity anywhere on the earth. Ceasefires and other types of agreements made to stop these conflicts are ignored, so that the arms race expands, the preparation for war continues apace, and the destruction, death, never ceases. Even world institutions created with the best of intentions for peace and unity fail to come to an agreement because of the veto here and hidden agenda and interests there. While they are struggling to arrive at peace agreements, children have no food, no education, no hospitals, because the war has destroyed everything. It has nearly destroyed their childhood too. Then you see the children sneak out of their hidey holes at every opportunity to play footy with an empty soda cup for a ball, unexploded ordnance for goalposts, smiling, cheering, and laughing. The joy of the child always wins. But at the resounding echo of first shots, they disappear again. The ghosts of that laughter remain. Their smiles hang in the still air, waiting, hoping that those smiles' owners will come back and regain them again. There is a tendency to destruction, war, and disunity in us. It is the tendency that the devil, the enemy and destroyer of humanity, sows in our hearts. St. Paul the Apostle teaches us that the journey of unity is, so to say, clad or armored with the bond of peace. Peace leads to unity. We encouraged all of you to adopt a behavior that is worthy of the call that is received, with all humility, gentleness, and patience. We who are used to insulting and shouting at each other need to make and find peace and unity among us with gentleness and patience. We urge Christians to open their hearts and make peace in the world, taking the path of three little things: humility, gentleness, and patience. Draw your attention to the practical advice of Paul to bear with one another in love. We acknowledge it's not easy, as there is always a judgment, a condemnation, which leads to separation and distances. When a rift is created between members of a family, the devil is rejoicing and happy with the start of that small war. The advice is then to bear with one another, because we always have an excuse to be annoyed and impatient, as we are all sinners with defects. St. Paul, inspired by Christ at the Last Supper, urged for one body and one spirit, thus urges us to preserve the unity of spirit through the bond of peace. The next step is to see the horizon of peace with God, just as Jesus made us see the horizon of peace with prayer. Father, may they be one, as you and I are one. Recall the Gospel of Luke, where Jesus advises us to strike an agreement with our adversary along the way to court. It is good advice, as it is not difficult to come to an agreement at the beginning of a conflict. The advice of Jesus is to settle the matter and make peace at the beginning, which calls for humility, gentleness, and patience. We can build peace throughout the world with these three little things, which are the attitudes of Jesus, who is humble, meek, and forgiving of all things. Today we, the world, our families and our societies need peace. We invite Christians to start putting into practice humility, gentleness, and patience. This is the path to making peace and consolidating unity. May you all go forth in this coming summer, for the rest of June, all of July and August. Go forward and look throughout your life for the areas where you have too much vanity, too much pride. Turn that on its heel and make it humility. Instead of pride, thank God for the gifts that you have been given. Do not thank Him for your achievements. Thank Him for His achievements in you. And then when you feel your anger growing, when you feel that you want to punch or throw a tantrum or something, start to pray. Help me, Spirit. Help me. I find myself becoming frustrated and angry, and I just want to swear, and stomp around and beat things. Help me, Lord. Help me, Spirit. Show me the gentleness that I need now. And finally, patience. Dear Spirit, dear Lord, help me to find the patience I never have. Please, please help me. I've been able to find the humility. I struggle with the gentleness, but I do it. But patience, oh, I just fight with that. Please, Lord, please, Spirit, help me. I want to be ready to help your people. But when I can't hold my temper, when I just want to smack people against the head saying, "Are you so stupid you can't see what you're doing?" I don't watch those hearings because I still have the nightmares from 1971 and 2. Help us, Lord. Help the Ukraine. Help us, Lord.